Went to College Stadium there. The home side went down to Waikato. It is also home in the Waikato to the thoroughbred racing industry. This is the Waikato side, a team much changed from last year when it finished 6th in the league. To their credit, Waikato are top in free throws in this year's league with 77%. Look out tonight for number 32, Warren Daniels. He's just joining the side after spending a year in the United States. The starting five tonight, at guard, 32-year-old former New Zealand player Colin Crampton. The other guard is current New Zealand player Tony Smith. Danny Conway, fast man, 6'8" from Utah State. The other forward is Steve Jackson. And at centre, loyal Waikato man Duncan Taylor. Murray McMahon is a busy man this week. Not only does he coach Waikato, but he's assistant national coach and busy with the series against England.
There was no mid-season break for the Vita Fresh Cannons Auckland last week after their disappointing first-half season. Coach Tony Webster worked his players twice. Rick Tuiaso comes back in tonight after recovering from his broken ankle, while Russ Scholes and Thomas Fraser are still on the injured list. Auckland's starting five features two experienced Kiwis on the guard line, 29-year-old Kim Harvey and the Mr. Consistent Joe Faiumu. Also at guard is the prolific scorer Ronnie Joyner. The other American import is Big Ben Anthony at forward, and completing the lineup at centre is 21-year-old Martin Winter. Their coach is former player Tony Webster. A Waikato rammer jammer in warm-up minutes before the start time shattered the glass backboard, meaning a delay of more than an hour as a wooden replacement was welded in. According to one red-faced official, it was the first time that had happened in 15 years. The wait certainly had no effect on Waikato's 22-year-old American forward Steve Jackson, a scoring machine in the first half. Jackson shot from inside and he shot from out. This 12-footer to take the Warriors to a 10-point lead, with Jackson taking 15 of their first 25. Waikato's other import, Danny Conway, was kept quiet after picking up 3 early fouls, while Jackson went on to score 20 and rubbing salt into Auckland's wounds. Meanwhile, get physical was the word from Auckland coach Tony Webster. Ben Anthony didn't need to be told twice. Together with Ronnie Joyner and George Sevilla, the Cannons chipped back an 18-point lead with a bit of Sevilla magic to finish off the first half. Still 14 points down, but coach Tony Webster could afford to smile at an Auckland improvement. Waikato leading at half-time by 44 points to 30, 14 points down. What are Auckland going to do to get back in the second half?
Will they continue to improve? I think Tony Webster is going to say rebounds, boys.
Well, they're cleaned out of the boards. Perhaps they might have better luck with the old wooden board. We'll find out in the second half when we come back after this break.
That was pretty fancy footwork out there tonight, Eric. New boots?
No, Formthotics.
Form what?
Formthotics.
When heated, this Formthotic insole will customize itself precisely to your foot, giving comfort and protection from back and leg injury. Formthotics, the original footbed.
Welcome back to Basketball 1990. Let's rejoin the action as the Kiwi FM Waikato Warriors lead the Vita Fresh Cannons Auckland 44-30 going into the second half. Our commentary team Bob Montai and Dennis Edwards.
We're back for the start of the second half. Remember, Waikato finished up a 14-point lead at halftime. Auckland control the tap, and they've got to score first and score several times to get back in the game. They missed the first shot, and they must have shot probably 30% in the first half, Dennis. Now, that's abysmal shooting in this league, and you don't win shooting like that.
And I went past the Auckland dressing room, and Tony Webster was screaming about intensity, and I think you've seen a little bit of it there.
Well, that's a perfect word to use to describe the Auckland performance in the first half. There was a total lack of it. They've had a rough season, a long season, but somewhere they've got to find a bit of heart. Anthony on the baseline, back to Harvey, back into Anthony. Taylor guarding him very well. They throw it back out to Faiumu, and again, shot doesn't drop. Here comes Steve Jackson. Throws it out to Taylor. Taylor will save it. Waikato want good shots every time up the floor now. They're in control. No needs to take the hope shots or throw bricks.
They can take 30 seconds per play, which is what they're allowed, and that'll work just fine. I think Auckland understand the idea is to turn Sevilla loose. Tony Webster's on his feet screaming. He wants everybody on the boards. Crash the boards. I don't think he's worried about fouls or anything else. Just get in there. There it is. Second rebound. Up again. That's the sort of thing. Penetration. Fight for the points.
Well, that's right. Anthony missed his first shot, but that time he got the second, and a two-shot offensive pattern gives them 2 points. Taylor misses one at the other end. And this time, no offensive board for Waikato, and that's exactly what Auckland has to do consistently for the remainder of this half if they're going to get back in the ball game. They're down 44-32. We've got 18.5 minutes left in the game. Anthony in the paint. Hey, Big Ben.
He's gone from being the villain to the hero. A moment or two ago, Tony Webster was screaming at him for being slow up the court. He gets the basket. He's the hero. It's very, very quick in basketball.
Seen Anthony play some fantastic games. I saw him shoot about 36 points against Canterbury a few years ago, all in the second half. As Auckland came storming back.
I saw one, I think, about 5 years ago, playing Hawke's Bay. He won the game with a three-point shot from halfway.
Ball goes out of bounds. Waikato bring it up, 46-34. Jackson pulls up, three-pointer, it doesn't drop. Hey, it's one-shot offense now for the Warriors. Joyner working against Duncan Taylor. That's Taylor's fourth foul. That's one more, and he gets a ticket. One-way ride to the bench.
And it was Ronnie Joyner he was against. Now, he's the man I see as the key to this. If he can get himself fired up, and he hasn't been so far, then it's on. And Auckland can do it from there.
Well, that's a crucial foul. That cuts down on Murray McMahon's options here. Duncan Taylor picks up foul number 4. 2.5 minutes gone in the second half. Joyner, shot from the baseline. It doesn't drop. Martin Winter gets the boards. Too hard. Bendon Anthony gets one off the board, and it's raked away by Tony Smith. Jackson puts it up. Doesn't drop, but he's fouled by Kim Harvey.
Kim Harvey might have felt a little bit unlucky there. I think probably a better case for a foul was Martin Winter at the other end going up. He got mugged in midair.
There you see it. Jackson knew the bump was coming, so he kind of leapt back in the direction that Harvey was coming from.
Perhaps a little bit of get your retaliation in first.
Well, and certainly anticipating the bump, and it came. Jackson misses a free throw. That's a rare thing for him. He shoots 86% from the line. He's got 22 points tonight. Interesting statistic. The leading rebounder for the Warriors is guard Tony Smith with 6.
And I noticed through the first half we had a very smooth refereeing performance. So we hope that keeps up.
Good refereeing performance. Tony Broadbent, Stan Baddock, both had to bypass Hamilton on their flight in. Hamilton's been fog-bound for about 4 days now. They had to hurry to get here by car from Auckland.
Got here about a quarter of an hour before the match. Not the best preparation, and referees have to prepare as much as the players.
Underneath, Martin Winter forces it up, rolls around and in. And yes, people, there still is a Hamilton. It's been wiped from the face of the earth for 4 days by fog, but we're here watching a basketball game, and it's 46-36. Auckland down by 10. Conway bumped, no foul.
And Martin Winter scored a basket at one end and bounced Danny Conway off the ball. He's come to play in the second half after a quiet time in the first.
Well, Harvey throws it away. Interesting thing that's happened now, Dennis. The Warriors are a one-shot offensive team, and in the first half they were getting 2 and 3 shots. That time the ball was raked out of Conway's hands before he could put it up, and Joyner counters at the other end. The lead cut to 8 points.
From a maximum of 18 with 1:23 in the first half. So intensity and let people run. It works, or is working.
Well, the winds of change blow. Hope there's a bit of wind tomorrow morning so I can get out of this place. 16:03 left in the game.
If you keep talking about one-shot offenses, they won't let you out of the place.
Crampton takes it into the paint, raked off him by Joe Fayumu. Harvey up quickly, feeds left to Fayumu. He puts it up and in, and he's fouled. Crampton called for the foul. Fayumu go to the line.
Now, this is one of the most dangerous fouls. Colin Crampton was lucky to stay in the game there. That's a case of tunnelling. When someone gets in the air, it's illegal to come in and under him and take away the ground where he can land, because that's where the serious injuries come from. Colin Crampton was just a little bit lucky to still be in this game. People get ejected for that.
Hey, what's got us back in the game is the defensive intensity that we picked up in the second half. That's what's got us in the game. Hey, everybody denying the ball. Ronnie, you and Benny, you got to deny more on defense. Come on, we don't want him to get the ball. We want the 30-second clock to expire. Okay? So get all over your man, everybody. We don't want him to pass the ball around comfortably. All right? Deny the ball all over the court. We're only down 8. We're playing great. We're only down 6. Let's box out on defense and let's help and recover. Help and recover on the D, but deny the ball. Let's go, move. Let's go, work on. 1, 2, 3, 10.
There's a good case of Tony Webster saying we've got to deny the ball, play better defense when you're having a shocking offensive night, which Auckland has had all throughout the game, really. Then you've got to claw your way back into the game by playing better defense. The message is pure and simple.
Intensity. And one thing that may be a little bit of a problem later in the game, there's so much energy and fire and heart in catching up that you then have to spend the rest of the game catching up, and that can turn into a problem later on.
Well, the problem has been known as the Auckland fade all year long. They've faded. Will they do it tonight? Tuiaso back in the game in the guard line for Auckland. We got a foul. Tony Smith bumping and shoving Martin Winter. Good on you, Martin. He stuck out his hand, shook Tony Smith's hand right away. No aggro there.
He's got
Murphy on for Colin Crampton.
Tony Webster got in the game to have a talk to his boys. Said it's the right idea. It's a little strong.
And there you see it. Winter stuck out his hand immediately. He wanted nothing to do with any kind of a scrap. He's playing a good game tonight. To his credit, Tony Smith shook hands with him immediately. No problems. 48-41. Tuiasu bails out, goes into lane, bails out. Ball slapped back into his hands. Auckland lucky to get another chance here.
A steal each way.
Oh, Martin Winter, what a tap! Great timing. The youngster went high, tapped in. The rebound, it's 48-43, Auckland. Back to within 5. Jackson goes baseline. 6-footer, partially blocked. Joyner comes away with the ball. He's up quickly. He spins left. Well guarded, couldn't put up a shot. Gets the ball back. He's working against Jackson. Doesn't drop. Gets his own rebound. Offensive boards coming from Auckland now.
And a little bit of magic from Ronnie Joyner there. Out of the sight in the first half. Fights, battles. That's the way to go.
Eric Howard, good little fake, muscles the ball up.
And inbounded by the man of the moment, Martin Winter.
That was a big basket for the Warriors, 50-45, 5 points the difference, 14 minutes left in the game. Anthony, unmarked underneath, puts it up and in. Eric Howard was fronting his man, that means playing him high. Anthony saw that, called for a little loop pass over Howard's head, got it, and went straight to the hoop.
And he's
easy two.
He's dropped it. That's dropped it to a 3-point lead. That's a 1 shot now.
Conway forces it up, it doesn't drop. The pendulum swings. We've got, these teams have changed uniform at halftime, Dennis.
From 18 points down to 3.
Joyner puts it up. We're going to have a charging foul. Will the basket count?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
And that puts Ronnie Joyner at the free throw line for the 3rd point. Here it is.
No, Dennis, it's a charge.
Ooh.
He gets the 2 points, but he's called for a charging foul after the shot, so he gets the 2. He's tagged with his 2nd foul.
And that foul will worry Ronnie Joyner about as much as Brad Breath. He's only on 2 fouls, and we're into the 2nd half, so that's not going to be a problem for Auckland.
Just to check the fouls, Kim Harvey for Auckland on 3, Martin Winter with 3, and for the Warriors, Danny Conway on 3, Duncan Taylor on 4, and Tony Smith with 3. Thank you, Dee Wallace, for all the help with those figures and stats. And happy birthday to you. Tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
40-something. 50-49, we've got a 1-point ball game, 13-39 left in the game. Auckland 2-10 on the season, going against Waikato, they're 4-8. They still have some hope of making the final 6. Conway drops it.
And the story of the game is the two coaches now. In the first half, it was Murray McMahon prowling the sidelines. Now we've got Tony Webster. Another inside point. Soft Waikato defence.
Auckland have picked up the pace of the game. They're getting the ball up more quickly. They're starting to pound the offensive board. And suddenly, Waikato find themselves bustled and hustled. Defensive intensity paying off for VitaFresh.
This is not the controlled stuff we had in the first half.
Jackson would have dropped that one in the first half. He missed it in the second. It's a one-point ball game, and Auckland rushing to get 2 more. Tuiasa throws it out of bounds.
Well, that sort of thing's worth a try. When you're hot and you make a pass like that, it can just destroy the opposite. The fact it missed still leaves you only 1 behind.
Too right, Dennis. When you're on a roll, have a go. Glenn Austin with the ball. Oh, down the middle, and the ball refuses to drop. I swear, Dennis, these teams have changed singlets. Fayumu, 8-footer, puts it up, and Daniels ducks under him. It's going to be taken from the side. It was after the shot. Warren Daniels called for the foul.
That's a worried man.
Work together now.
Fayumu goes up. Daniels went over, tried to stay off him, but backed into him. Foul after the basket, and Anthony. Oh, Big Ben playing like clockwork now.
Now, he had to play from 10 and 15 feet in the first half. He's finding space. He's working defensively on Conway, and Conway hasn't been able to contribute a thing. That's Ronnie Joiner's 3rd foul. Now, he's got if he's worried fouls and bad breath, he's got very bad breath now, if we're going to pursue that metaphor. So that's 3 fouls for Ronnie and 13 points. He's picked it up, unfortunately, both ways.
Well, if we stick with that metaphor, nobody's going to want him on the bench, Dennis, so he'll stay in the game. Joyner, sticking with Jackson, goes over the top. He fouls him with the body. And that is 3 fouls on Ronnie Joyner.
And that may be a measure of the game, is in the first half, Ronnie Joyner tends to be a mood, a flow player who can win a game on his own. In the first half, he didn't seem that interested, and Steve Jackson ran riot. Now he seems to have picked it up, so...
Well, he's picked it up all right. Here we've got a runaway. Jackson went up. Muscle dunk. Hey, stay away from that glass, Steve. We want this game to finish.
That's a backboard breaker.
55-53. Waikato by 2. 11:50 left in the game. The crowd coming alive here somewhere under the fog bank in the middle of the North Island. Anthony takes it to the hoop. It doesn't drop, but he's fouled.
And I think Tony Webster stumbled on his combination. He was rotating players in and out faster than the Auckland railway station or the bus terminal, and he's stuck basically with the same team for this half. So I think if you've got something going, leave them there. Then Anthony picks up his 23rd point for the game.
Anthony spins around Jackson, takes it to the hoop. A class player, been in the league many, many years. Benny Anthony, no fouls on him. He's got 7 rebounds tonight. Glenn Austin working against Martin Winter, takes it baseline, tries to feed inside to Conway, and once again, Waikato give up the ball. Those scores are locked.
And when you're cold, you're cold. The pretty passes don't work when it's gone. And they're even 55 all.
Well, Waikato have managed 11 points this half. They were on 44 at halftime. Joyner into the lane. Doesn't drop. Tried to tap it. Glenn Austin picks it off the floor. He's triple teamed. Can he get a pass outside? No, we've got a foul. It's going to be on Martin Winter. That's 4 fouls on center Martin Winter.
And that's a shame for the big man. In the last 5 minutes, so he's really discovered a game. He got his first 2 fouls in the first minute and had to go quiet. Now he's in the game, and he might have been a little bit unlucky here. The fouls normally come when you approach the player from the back. He went from the front, so he may have felt a bit unlucky about that.
Well, he burrowed into that one and picked up a foul for his efforts. Waikato a bit rattled now. They're going to have to get back to their pattern game. Jackson, his shooting's gone cold.
Outside shots and took it quickly. It's a sign things aren't going too well.
Well, it was a good shot. The pattern was designed to get him loose for a 10 to 15-foot shot. It was a 15-footer. He knocked every one of those down in the first half. Can't blame him for taking that. Anthony double team, throws it back. Fayumu one fake, a bounce, puts it up. It's there! Hey,
And Auckland are in the lead. First time in the game, 57 to 55. And that's back from 18 down a minute and a half before the half.
The Cannons starting to fire here, 55, 57. They are now up by 2. They were down by 18 in the first half. Conway muscles it up, and he's fouled by Big Ben. Anthony and Conway bumping one another there.
I think Benny Anthony might have taken the view that I'm in the air, I'm going to be caught for a foul, I might as well make it a good one.
Conway fakes top, comes back baseline. Anthony there, pushes it away. Conway tried to push off Anthony to make some room for the shot. Got knocked to the floor for his effort, but he's on the line. And this is a good chance for Waikato to get their breath, get a couple of points, level the scores, get their heads together, and start playing the percentage basketball they did in the first half. Well, Conway misses the first.
I see they've got Steve Jackson off for full and frank discussions. We may see a little more intensity from him in the second half, or later in the half, I should say.
Waikato down by 1. Tony Smith comes up to try to get the steal off Tuiaso. Tuiaso passes it off. Inside it goes to Joyner, and he's got 2 more. Ronnie Joyner with 15 points.
That's the experience of Ronnie Joyner. A little bump with the hips to get rid of Blair Johnson, cleared himself some space. A couple of steps, boom.
Conway working against Anthony. He's not put off by the last foul at all. One bounce, good spin shot. There's a warning from referee Stan Baddock. Once the ball goes through the basket, no player except an offensive player is allowed to touch it. Defense can knock the ball. That takes away a quick advantage for the offensive team. So he gives a warning. Next time it'll be a technical foul. Meanwhile, Fayumu gives the ball up to Tuiasu into the lane. We got a push on Tony Smith. He didn't like the call.
He's been trying to deny people space, pushing with his body and hands, especially on Tuiasu. He's the one, Waikato man, who's really been going about this with a bit of intensity, a bit of fire. And he's still going about it with a bit of fire, but I don't think it's going to help him with the referee.
Well, Dennis, here's 2 more factors in the game. Tony Smith just picks up foul number 4. Coach Murray McMahon's leaving him on, and the whole team is on 7 fouls. That's 1+1 shooting situation for Auckland from now till the end of the game. Tuiaso barges in. That's a charging foul. He doesn't like the call. Stan Baddock not too perturbed by that fact.
He doesn't have a case. He doesn't have a case. Here's the press from Auckland. This is the first time we've seen this. Tony Smith goes out and Warren Daniels comes in.
Boom goes Tuiaso. That's a charge.
Here's the press, Bob. We haven't seen one of these for this game. And Auckland have worked this. This is a move Auckland have worked quite effectively in the past. Howard finds Conway. Conway leaps high, puts it up and in. Danny Conway doing the necessary work inside offensively. He's got 16. Steve Jackson, 27. And the next player for Waikato has 4. There's another barging foul. Charge on Tuiaso. That's number 4 on him. We've got a real slugfest here tonight, suddenly. And Warren Daniels has just had a year playing in a tough league in the States. He'll know how to make the most of anything he gets, any bumps he gets. George Savila comes in. Ricky Tuiaso goes out. They've sent in Magic in place of dependent reliability. Well, the reliable was just not so reliable there. A couple of quick fouls from Tuiaso, and he bought a ticket to the bench. Warren Daniels takes it down the lane. He's fouled by Artie Iona, number 33, picks up the foul, and Daniels will go to the line. I think it's a 1+1 situation. Yes, both flags are up now. Both teams shooting a 1+1. Which means we're going to spend a large part of the rest of the evening, Bob, watching tall people taking free throws. Well, the longer we're here, the greater the chances the fog will clear, Dennis.
60-59, Waikato back into a 1-point lead. Warren Daniels shooting an important free throw here. He's got 2 points tonight. NIAI All-American.
Just had a season.
It's a small college athletic association in the United States, but it's a prestigious award. Makes them both 62-59. George Sevilla brings the ball up for Auckland. The crowd comes alive. Both teams playing with intensity. Now, Jackson makes a great steal. He brings it up. Finds Daniels at the top. Tony Smith now on the bench. Remember, he's on 4 fouls. That's a good move.
Now we're at the top of the fourth quarter here. This is where Auckland have been losing it all season, and this is the moment where they have to dig deep. If it's going to happen for Auckland, the next 2 or 3 minutes, Bob.
Well, Jackson put in a clutch 2-pointer. The man certainly puts arch on his shot. It goes somewhere up in the rafters before coming down again.
Gets a steal. Auckland get it back.
Joyner inside, doesn't drop, gets his own board. Back in against Conway. This time he scores.
Strong work. They're still 3 points behind. So they'll need some strong defense the next 2 or 3 times down the court just to pick up that momentum.
Jackson from the top of the key, hard off the glass. Auckland with a rebound. Joyner leads the fast break. Decides not to take Jackson on one-on-one, and Sevilla brings it back outside. Steal from Eric Howard. Double dribble. Well, it doesn't happen very often to Eric. He finds...
Very seldom finds the ball in his hand at halfway. He's not meant for that. It's like a prop forward. They get the ball and wonder what it is.
Well, sort out which hand's going to have a go at it next, Eric. We'll go down to the Waikato bench and listen to Coach Murray McMahon.
Go back to 3 game. Every time we get in the post, if we rotate it once, we get in the post, when it's cleared out a bit, we've got a good shot for somebody going to the middle. Don't go baseline, pivot to the middle, okay? Pivot and attack into the middle. See what I mean? Those shots you got, Danny, you can go to the middle there all the time, Steve. When you go there and the help comes, weak side man's got to step in, and it's an easy pass after the weak side man if they cover you. Or the back man. Let's go. Okay? Good job. Do it is, fellas. D is doing it for us. Defense is doing it for us, so we got to get back. Now, it's all important that we have pressure on the man with the ball so they can't lob it in. Those lobs are on when you don't put pressure on the man with the ball. Okay, so really get out on it.
We've just had the midgets haka. That'll wind them up in the Waikato.